Hello everyone and welcome back to Museum Deep Dive. My name is Evan.
And I'm Laura.
And Laura, you seem to picked another excellent piece of fashion history. What is this?
So this is what we would refer to as a stole. So it is kind of like a cape.
Okay.
In this sort of way. So it is made of fur. Sometimes species are hard to identify. By the middle of the 20th century, it really wasn't about keeping warm anymore. It was very much about fashion. And fur from all kinds of animals, ones that we wouldn't even think of nowadays, were used for fur in fashion. Also, too, because in the early 20th century, you'll often see men, too, wearing these big, long, usually raccoon coats. And that was a big sort of thing. But then by the time we had better ways to heat our homes, furnaces and all that stuff kind of came in, fur really became for women. It became like a symbol somehow of femininity, only because men were going into other synthetic, more fabrics and things like that. So it did get relegated instead of being something necessary, of course, to keep us warm, to something that was just for show, and often for as a way of status. So this little piece obviously was really meant for fashion. It's really not covering any of the parts that you would need to stay warm if it was cold. And it does have this really nice little clip on it. This one is, I would say it is some kind of plastic. It's not Bakelite, and it isn't celluloid, so it's probably a little bit of a more like mid 20th century plastic where everyone's starting to really experiment with different
I
plastics.
also heard that stoles and fur pieces, especially for women, were a common engagement gift. Was that true?
Yes, or something, a really sort of decadent gift, maybe for, an anniversary or a first Christmas, together.
Or a mistress.
Yes, definitely, for sure. If you're watching a movie from the 60s, they all have mink coats, for sure. So so there is definitely something like this, because it would be expensive. It would still be a luxury item versus something that you just kind of had every day, unless of course you were wealthy. In that case, you're wearing it as a display of your social status.
And even today, it is. You think of a well-to-do rich woman. She's usually depicted in sort of a Dior dress and a mink stole.
Yes. So mink, especially for North America, is the number one fur. I'm actually not really sure why mink, out of all the species that were considered to be okay to have fur from, including like large wildcats and things like that, that mink were the number one sort of higher economic sort of thing. But yes, mink was
the top
was
tier.
the most sought after, for sure, versus say wolf or fox. That would have been, or coyote even. There was all kinds of different animals for sure.
Well, again, Laura, thank you so much for showing us this beautiful stole. I think it's making a lot of people jealous to have such an interesting artifact. And do you ever get to wear it?
No. It's kind of a shame. Some of the stuff you wish you could. It's against the rules to wear artifacts, but sometimes you wish so.
Well, Laura, thanks for
no
coming in and showing us this beautiful stole. Thanks.